New roots, old souls. Sometimes a fresh start is the only way to find your way back to yourself. Chapter 1. Sweethearts and Seeds. Anna never believed in perfect beginnings, but if she were being honest, hers came close. She met Robert Mitchell, Bob to everyone who knew him, during their freshman year of high school in Newark, New Jersey. He was tall, quiet, always tinkering with something mechanical. She was bright-eyed, quick-witted, and endlessly curious. Their first conversation happened in biology class over a shared microscope. She'd made a joke about dissecting frogs, and he laughed, really laughed. From that moment, their lives slowly twined together like morning glories. By senior year, they were inseparable. When he proposed the summer after graduation, there were no doubts. They didn't have much, just a hand-me-down pickup truck and big dreams, but they had each other, and for them, that was enough. Their shared dream? A neighborhood grocery store, a place where people could find the kind of fresh fruits and vegetables both their mothers had sworn by. After years of working odd jobs and saving every penny, they opened Green Harvest, a modest organic market with hand-painted signage and crates full of produce that smelled like sunshine. They raised 2 boys, Luke and Bob Jr., in a home filled with laughter, muddy boots, and Sunday morning pancakes. Bob was always fixing something, and Anna loved to tease him by calling him Bob the Builder. He, in turn, never stopped calling her Anna Banana, even when the boys groaned in protest. She rolled her eyes at the nickname, but secretly it made her feel cherished. Chapter 2. The Market and the Moment. Green Harvest became a cornerstone of the neighborhood. It wasn't just about food, it was about community. Neighbors would stop in for fresh basil and end up staying for conversations about kids, weddings, or life's curveballs. Anna handled the books and charmed the customers, while Bob managed the produce and fixed whatever needed fixing: shelves, freezers, broken hearts. Then came the moment that shattered everything. It was a Tuesday. Bright, warm, with the scent of citrus in the air. Bob was unloading a delivery truck when he collapsed. A massive heart attack took him before the paramedics could even arrive. Anna remembered the crate of oranges spilled across the sidewalk, the way sunlight glinted off the fruit, absurdly beautiful in the face of her devastation. He was gone. Just like that. The days that followed were a blur of casseroles, condolences, and paperwork. The boys came home and tried to help, but grief had carved a hollow space inside her. She kept the store open for 2 more years, more out of habit than hope. But everywhere she looked, she saw Bob, laughing behind the counter, fixing the produce scale, calling her Banana. It became too much, too heavy. She knew she needed a change, a real one. Chapter 3. Letting Go. It took a year to find the courage, another to make the arrangements. Anna sold the store, sold the house, packed up 30 years of life into boxes labeled memories, kitchen, stuff I'm not ready to throw away yet. She cried over old photos, smiled at forgotten notes Bob had tucked into her recipe books, and whispered goodbye to the kitchen table where their boys had once carved their initials. Charleston had always held a soft spot in her heart. She and Bob had visited once on a whim during their 10th anniversary. They'd walked the cobblestone streets, laughed over seafood dinners, and marveled at the way history seemed to wrap itself around the city like a shawl. Now, it would be her new home. She found a townhouse near downtown, cozy and charming, with a small balcony and creaky floorboards that made her smile. She arrived in spring, when the air was thick with magnolia and the scent of rebirth. Chapter 4. Cobblestone Beginnings. Anna's new life moved slowly, and that was just how she liked it. She joined a gym, mostly for the routine, and walked the historic streets afterward as the city woke around her. Tourists wandered with cameras, and locals greeted each other with warmth that felt foreign but welcome. She discovered Penny's Roastery on her 3rd week in town. The smell of roasted beans and warm pastries lured her in, but the ambiance? Brick walls, mismatched chairs, soft jazz playing low, made her stay. She became a fixture at the corner table by the window, where she'd read novels or type emails to old friends. What she didn't expect was the strange rhythm that began to unfold. It started subtly. A woman with a rounded belly would ask to share her table, then another, and another. They were always kind, always chatty, and always very pregnant. They spoke of their dreams and fears, sometimes as if they were reminiscing rather than anticipating. At first, Anna thought it was just coincidence. Maybe it was her energy, or the fact that she always smiled and made space. But as the weeks turned into months, she began to feel something deeper, a pattern she couldn't quite explain. Chapter 5. The Expectant Table. The conversations became increasingly curious. One woman described a memory of a garden that matched Anna's childhood backyard in stunning detail. Another hummed a tune Bob used to whistle while fixing the shelves. They always left her with something, an odd phrase, a moment of déjà vu, a lingering sense of being known. They spoke with joy, but also with a wisdom that felt old, like they weren't just preparing for life, but remembering something lost. Anna started journaling after each encounter, trying to piece it together. She even joked to a barista, "I must have a face that attracts expectant mothers." But deep down, she felt it. Something unexplainable was unfolding. Then came Bree. Chapter 6. Bree. It was a rainy Thursday. Anna almost didn't go to the cafe, but decided she needed the comfort of warm coffee and the familiar. Bree arrived just after her second sip. "Mind if I sit?" Bree asked, her southern drawl thick and sweet. Of course, Anna replied, shifting her laptop and papers aside. Bree settled in, tea in hand, and began talking as if they were old friends. She told Anna about her new house, her siblings, her job, and how she was both excited and terrified to be a mother. There was a warmth to her, a kindness that made the hours pass like minutes. But the way she spoke, so vividly, so specifically, it felt like she was absorbing Anna's words like a sponge. Every detail Anna shared about Bob, the store, Newark, even the smell of her favorite soap, Bree soaked it in, her eyes bright with curiosity. And then, just as suddenly as she arrived, Bree gathered her things to go. She paused, looked at Anna with a knowing smile and said, "Bye, Anna Banana. I hope I remember all this after I'm born." Anna blinked. Her heart stopped. The air felt charged, and then Bree was gone. Epilogue. In bloom. Anna waited weeks, but Bree never returned. She didn't try to chase the mystery. She let it settle, let it fold gently into her understanding of the world. Maybe some things weren't meant to be explained. Maybe grief opens portals we never knew existed. She planted jasmine on her balcony, the kind Bob used to love, and added mint and rosemary, fresh reminders of her past. Each morning, she'd water them and whisper stories into the leaves, just in case someone was listening. Sometimes, when the breeze was right, she'd hear laughter echoing faintly, like it was tucked between the petals. And once, as the sun dipped low, she swore she heard a voice, soft, familiar, full of wonder, say, "Thanks, Anna Banana." She smiled and kept watering the roots,